My intention is to create transparency and to keep supporting the winemakers and the winemakers that are doing it right. Um, I want to create a portfolio that, like I said, and anybody opens up that portfolio, is a wine that they need or want, not because it's vegan, just because it happens to be vegan. Um, I feel like our my I feel like my mission out there is to tie everything together, from what's you're tasting, but also what's behind the label, who's behind the label.
What's up? My name is Jason from Who's My Rep, and today we have Frances Gonzalez from Vegan Wines. Frances, thank you so much for coming on. How was your day?
Oh, hi, thank you. Um, yeah, Jason, I'm having a good day so far, and looking forward to talking a little bit more.
So you just had a call with an account. How'd that go?
It went great. It's a new restaurant, Mediterranean restaurant that's coming to New York City, and they reached out to me, wanting to help them with their wine program. So it went well, and now we have a meeting on Friday in person. So I'm pretty excited.
Is that how? So how did they find you in the first place?
Well, we have one thing in common. It's veganism. So it's a vegan
Hmm.
restaurant, and I have vegan wine. So they that's how they contact me, through veganwines.com. And
Okay.
yeah.
And did they search for that on the internet, or how did that work?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they found vegan wines, but in general, I feel like in the if you Google vegan wines, we're one of the first ones to come up. And when click on it, you find out that we are a distributor as well in California and New York. I think that gets still a little confusing sometimes, but that's what I want to highlight more now, that we are in New York, even though our main address is in California. We are also a distributor in New York.
Did you spend a lot of time learning about SEO to get into that top spot, or have you just been doing it for so long that you naturally landed there?
Doing it for so long, since 2016.
Have you put any intensity into search engine optimization or anything like that?
No, but I am looking into it now, especially as I keep learning.
Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, they found you. I mean, a lot of times brands, they don't have a lot of resources and they can't get found, and so search engine optimization, it may be a long game, but it's very effective. You know, if they would have, most people wouldn't have dug to the second page to find you, so they found you in the first couple hits, and that led to a meeting. I would say
Yes,
that's
it
pretty
did.
awesome.
It is. The only thing that I am seeing, and that's why I say that I'm looking more into it and getting hiring people to help me with it, is because before we were the only ones really for vegan wines. Now there's more, you know, people are interested in it. So I see how there's more vegan wine words than just vegan wine. So that's why I say that. But I'm very grateful that I've been in the page one for this long. So I don't want to lose that spot.
No doubt, no doubt.
Mhm.
So how many uh, when I first met you, I didn't know that vegan wines were a thing. Can you help me understand what makes a wine vegan and what makes other wines not vegan?
Well, we feel that wines should be grapes, and that's pretty much it, right? So, learning during a trip to France, I learned that there's egg whites that can be used with the filtering of the wine. And along that journey of finding out, I found out that there's casein, isinglass. It's mainly to take out the sediments of the wine. And along the way, there's other things that could be used to just change the color of the wine, or also um, if the harvest is not great, to push that and make people believe that there was a good harvest. But mainly the ingredients are isinglass, casein, and gelatin that people are more focused on right now to make a wine, when they consider a wine to be vegan friendly or not.
Are mass produced wines typically use these techniques?
Yes, because everything is about how many bottles can you wines can you bottle before hit the market. So yeah, the big mass productions, they do that a lot, and
Right.
especially with white wines. If you go to a lot of wineries, they'll be like, yeah, our red wines are vegan, but not our white wines.
Interesting. Is there a classification or a certification you can get to be a vegan wine, or is it just basically you just try, you tell the truth on the bottle and then that's it?
There's not one yet in the United States. We are working on our trademark certification. If you do see our logo on the label, on the back of the label, then you know that it was hand selected by myself and, without animal products on it. But as far as any other certification, no, you can put vegan friendly on the wine bottle, but what does that really even mean, Um, because a lot of times, it could still just be vegan friendly. Like I found that some of the vegan friendly wines still had Domino's sugar, in the process of making. So white sugar is not vegan, but people don't, there's still so much confusion of what makes something vegan or not vegan as well. So it's just no transparency yet, and no certification yet.
Right. And so you've been a vegan for a while, for a long time.
Mhm.
Did you just not drink wine before that, or how were you just unable to find before you started your company? Like, were you unable to? Which came first, your company or your lifestyle?
My lifestyle.
Your lifestyle. And so you started this business to be consistent with your lifestyle, and because you love wine.
I love the wines. I'm more into wines and cocktails for sure, and I don't drink beer. But so I've been a vegan for many, many years, over 25 years, but I didn't know that not all wines were vegan until 2016 when I went to France and I heard the word egg whites. And I remember my partner, he wasn't a vegan at the time, and he just like, I guess you won't be drinking no more wine. And I was like, wait, I have to check this out. So it was my birthday trip and it turned into a journey of research. Um, and then I found out, that not all wines are vegan, and I would have given it up. If someone told me, yeah, we have to use animal products in it, I would have definitely given it up. But luckily, I found winemakers that their main ingredients are love and patience, and they make amazing wines that are without animal products.
Have you ever come across a menu that had vegan food but didn't have any vegan wines on it?
A lot of times. Oh my gosh, so many times. I feel um, restaurants are still not syncing both together, and also the transparency. I mean, people just don't know. There's a lot of people that still think that all wines are vegan.
That's what I thought until we met.
Yes.
What would you say to a buyer at a bar or restaurant when you saw this discrepancy?
I would ask them, which wines are vegan, because sometimes maybe they don't list it, but they know. And that has happened one time before in a steakhouse. I went to a steakhouse, had amazing vegan dishes. And then I asked them, I said, so where's your vegan wines? And they didn't list it, but they knew what they were. And I went and checked them out and they were. So I found that I love that. But when I do tell them, it's like, you have this amazing, and I do tell them because I am dining there and I want to enjoy the food and also the wine. I love that experience, the food and wine pairing. Not even it's specific in pairing, but at least give me a wine that is going to sink in with that dish. If it's plant-based dish, then I want a plant-based wine. It's a new market for restaurants too. I always tell them, you already have your customers. Now let's open up another door, because we
Yeah.
do vegans. We love to eat out too, and we love
Have
wine.
you? I mean, having been a vegan for 25 years, I'd imagine it hasn't always been easy to find something that you eat. Has it gotten any easier?
Oh gosh, yes. There's so many amazing restaurants out there, whether they're vegan and non-vegan, they have amazing dishes. I went to even my first dive bar, vegan dive bar. I loved it. It had the jukebox and it had the pool table and it looked all like it should, but everything on the menu was vegan food. The ones that we shouldn't eat, the fried food that we shouldn't eat, that we just love so much love. So our windows, our windows of where we can eat, what we can eat, it's amazing. It has changed so much.
I mean, I think it's funny. Like our mutual friend Diana Edelman, she's a vegan food blogger, and she talks about how vegan food is not necessarily raw plants, and it's not necessarily not fried food and cheeseburgers. And thank goodness for that, because cheeseburgers are delicious, but I don't eat meat anymore either. So how does the conversation go when you're introducing yourself to an account and you're just meeting for the first time? Like, how does that go? Do you ever just cold knock on doors, or what's your strategy?
It depends, honestly. I try to get the vibe of the place, and I ask, like, I'll go to a wine store and I ask first, do you have any people that are asking for vegan wines in general? And then, take it from there. And they say yes. I don't tell them, well, it just so happens that I have this portfolio. Uh, there's still people that are hesitant about it. Not knowing that there's no transparency with the vegan wines, so they just take it sometimes like, oh, it's like a gluten-free wine kind of deal. And you have to approach them more slowly, maybe take 2 or 3 times to visit, first tasting something that they would consider vegan, then set like a vegan wine, be like, okay, so I'll buy this and take it home, and then I'll come back and get on their good side. And I've gotten placements like that, because you're not telling them, you're not running your business well. It's not that. It's just, again, we just want to open up another opportunity window for you.
Yeah. Well, I think you've done a great job of that. So Despacito is your importing company. Is that correct?
Yes.
So Despacito, and you've curated these wines from around the world, from Italy, France, Puerto Rico. I think I saw something
And
about Puerto
Chile.
Rico and Chile.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've curated this incredible book of 100% vegan wines. And would you characterize Despacito as a mission driven company?
As a what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
As a mission driven company?
Oh gosh, yes, yes. So despacito in English means slow. And one of the main things that all the winemakers have in common is patience, the ones that we work with. So the goal, the vision, the intent is patience and love. So Despacito Distributors, I think it says it all in the word right there.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, so there's any number of different kinds of accounts that you'd love to work with, I'm sure. How would you characterize your ideal partner in the market?
Um, Well, I do feel, one of my main things when I search for wines is that they have to taste amazing. The last thing I want is for someone to taste the wine and say, "Oh my gosh, this is why I don't like vegan wines." I want the wines to be loved by vegans and non-vegans, because that is also our intention, to create a portfolio that anyone can open up and find a wine that they love or they want for their menu, not because it's vegan, because it happens to be vegan, just to make it like the new norm. Um, so, yeah.
Do you feel like some producers produce non-vegan wines at the expense of the quality of a vegan wine? Or are not? I mean, I think you alluded to the fact that not all vegan wines are good, but all of your wines are good.
Yeah, well, some vegan wines, even though they're vegan friendly, they still have other harsh ingredients in it that takes away from the grape character. And our wines have to be naturally vegan. Um, just my belief is that the way, going back to old traditional winemaking, the less is more approach. So it's like, making your own vegetable, plant-based dish, or, putting other things in it, and it's still vegan, but you still have a lot of things in it. So one of the main things is to keep the grape character in the taste. And that's why I say it tastes amazing.
So just by virtue of the fact that that a wine is vegan does not necessarily make it good, but by virtue of the fact that it's that in your curated portfolio, you do proudly stand by it. Is there a spectrum of vegan wines that are like, can you get a $9 glass of vegan wine and a $1,000 bottle of vegan wine?
Oh, okay. Um, our wines are pretty much in the same um, price range. I try to go for that because right now our main thing is quality for the money, because the way the world is going right now is the best way. And
Yeah.
then from there on, we'll keep going forward. But right now is how much quality, the quality in it, but how, where is that point where I can't go no higher for now.
Right. So, how do you? So, if you, it's you and your partner in this business, and you guys have this massive territory between sourcing wines, distributing wines, and selling wines. So you have. So, where? How do you spend your days and your weeks? I mean, how do you get to California, New York, and you live in Puerto Rico as well, right?
Yes. Well,
A
the
lot.
business is, yeah, I go monthly. Um, so the business is mine. My partner, he has his own business, and it has
Got it.
nothing to do with wines. Totally
Got it.
opposite.
Thank you. Sorry about
No, it's okay. But he's vegan wine's number one supporter, and what we do is we got this mobile van, and when COVID hit, I said, okay, we can't now. I don't know when we're going to go be able to visit these countries for other one. Our next stop was going to be Spain. So what we did was that we got a mobile van, the home, and we just started going from east to west, and took us 31 days last year, and this time we did it shorter in 18 days. But it's still, we're still trying to find that way to, like, okay, we may just have to do east from top south to north for this time, and then west, and then the middle, because you're like going boom 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 boom, and it's not good either.
that. So you're an expert storyteller on social media. You are very good at telling the story of where your wines come from, about your business, and how things come to be. Have you found that effective when building your brands?
Slowly, but it's getting there. Yeah, you just got to keep on, no matter what. I've learned that no matter how many times you tell the story, you still have to tell it again, because not everyone knows it. You still have to keep going and keep going. So 100,000 times, however many times it takes.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you seem to be pretty relentless.
Mhm. Yeah, I've learned that from veganism. Being a vegan, when I turned vegan, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I'm Puerto Rican too. So that was a lot of, like, they'll say, ay bendito, which means like, you poor baby.
Yeah. So what's your vision for your company? What would you, how do you see your company impacting the trajectory of the world?
Well, I want to create, my intention is to create transparency and to keep supporting the winemakers and the winemakers that are doing it right. I want to create a portfolio that, like I said, and anybody opens up that portfolio, it's a wine that they need or want, not because it's vegan, just because it happens to be vegan. Um, I feel like our my I feel like my mission out there is to tie everything together, from what's you're tasting, but also what's behind the label, who's behind the label. And at the end, for me, that's part of veganism, because it's not just about not, eating animals. It's about everything, environment, people, and I want that to be taste it in the wine. I want them, that's the story I want to tell one day.
Cool. Well, that's pretty much all I got for you. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
Well, you can find us on veganwines.com and contact me with any questions or anything else at info@veganwines.com. And we are importers in New York and California and Puerto Rico. We have a wine to come from Puerto Rico, produced out of cacao, and it's 100% cacao. So we're pretty excited about that because it's the very first import of a wine from Puerto Rico that's grown and produced in Puerto Rico. So it's amazing.
I'm sorry. Would that be a wine?
Yes.
It's a wine made from cacao, like the fermented cacao.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because there's a spirit brand named Solbeso at one point that was distilling that. But I thought wine had to be made from grapes.
No, there's a lot of, grapes is a fruit if you think about it. So it's just another fruit. But it's not a fruit wine. There's a lot of fruit wines out there, and that can be concentrated juice. So that's a big difference. This is 100% fermented from cacao pulp.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, innovations. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been Frances Gonzalez from Despacito Imports, importers of vegan wines from California and New York. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you making it. And best of luck.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Bye.